So we've learned a lot about the VPC. So let's just try to remember all of it. So VPC stands for Virtual Private Cloud. And within a VPC, you have subnets. A subnet is tied to a specific availability zone, and it represents a network partition from within your VPC. If you wanted to have internet access at the VPC level, you would need to create an internet gateway. But if your instances are private instances and private subnets, then instead you would need to use a NAT gateway, which is managed, or NAT instances that you manage to give internet access to your private subnets. To have a firewall that's going to be stateless, you need to have a NACL, or Network ACL, which is going to represent subnet rules for inbound and outbound traffic. If you wanted to have stateful rules, you can use security groups, and they operate at the EC2 instance level or the ENI level. If you wanted to connect two VPC together and they have non-overlapping IP ranges, you can use VPC peering, and it's a non-transitive thing. So if VPC A is connected to B and then B to C, it's not necessary and it won't happen. A cannot communicate with C. We have also learned about elastic IPs, which are fixed public IPv4 that will have an ongoing cost if you're not using them. Okay, next we have VPC endpoints, and that's to provide private access to any AWS service within your VPC. And if you wanted to establish a connection, a private connection to a third-party service in a third-party VPC, you could use private link. If you wanted to have access to your network traffic logs, you could use the VPC flow logs. Now, in terms of private connectivity, if you wanted to connect your on-premises data center to AWS, you would have to set up a site-to-site VPN over the public internet. And then, if you wanted to connect your own personal computer directly into your VPC, you could use client VPN to establish an open VPN connection directly into your VPC. Now, if you wanted to establish a very private connection and direct within AWS and your data center, you would use Direct Connect. And if you want to connect everything together, including thousands of VPC, on-premises network, site-to-site VPN, Direct Connect, and so on, then you would use a transit gateway. So hopefully all of this makes sense. I know VPC has a lot of information, but the exam will ask you to choose the correct subservice within your VPC. So I hope you liked it, and I will see you in the next lecture.